Let's go back to the URC then, and this afternoon the Dragons took on Benetton out in Italy.
It's been all Benetton so far. And the building blocks are there. Dragons moving in the wrong direction. Duvanacher wants more backs involved. 10, 11, 12 players. Where's the ball? It's over the try line. And it's the hooker, unsurprisingly, Nicotera, who gets the dab down. And Benetton thoroughly deserved that try. It's all Benetton. All Benetton. Forwards within half a metre. Penalty coming. Now it's given some width. Brex. Overlap. Canone. And Canone will get Benetton second. And the Dragons are in serious trouble in Treviso. Oh. Not the cleanest. Ben Fry gets it. Lewis Jones, Max Clark. Good, powerful run by him. Elliot D. Only one of two men who have scored a try for the Dragons this season. And that ball has been turned over, has it?
You're on the ground playing the ball, it's going to be a scrum.
Here we go. Mendy driven back in the tackle. And Benetton forced to use backs in the ruck, which means that it's mostly forwards out wide. Here's one back in Brex to Canone, the try scorer. Rolls out of a tackle, gets over the gain line. Brex again. Messi, Rio Dyer could be on, was pulled back. Foot trace now. And Dyer, well, collided into the opponent at the time, but right at the start of the play, he was certainly tagged back on his jersey, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought he was Albanos was pulling him back slightly there. I don't know how the referee hasn't picked that one up, and they were tussling then.
Lamaro's been told to leave it. Dixon. Off to Clark. Clark is away. Good covering tackle on him because he thought he was over the try line. Could still work for the Dragons. Pass to the far side. Has to be a try. Where is it? Somehow Benetton have stopped them. Try given.
Exactly what they needed there. We see Ross Moriarty getting his hands on the ball earlier. There was a couple of hit-ups, exactly what they needed to do, but they kept their patience, they kept hold of the ball here, but then there was a drive. I think it was the two wingers combining there, really was his great play. Wainwright.
Moriarty flies over the ruck, but it's back inside. There's Jared Rosser, goes to beat the last man. Maybe he didn't need to do that. And somehow Albanos brought him down. Turnover, possession lost. Duvanacher, first receiver. Albanos is through. Albanos, he is the magic man at the minute. And he's still going. The Argentine. Quick ball for Benetton. And Dragons are stretched. Canone. Meter away at the home team. Bit of crossing there. Play on for the time being. And Benetton are still pushing towards that try line. Key point of the game. Benetton within the meter. Brex. Oh, well read. And Padovani, for the second successive weekend, scores against the Welsh region. And that could be so costly for the Dragons. Clark on the angle, and that's a try. Easy in the end. And it's Steph Hughes, recent arrival from the Scarlets, and he's in a hurry to get back. Benetton looking to seal the win, get the bonus point. Albanos again, perfectly weighted pass. Rusa back inside, and Benetton are through, and Brex gets it away, and that's a first touch for Bellini. And Treviso is ecstatic. And Benetton will win a third game in a row at home, and they'll thoroughly deserve it.
Not the result the Dragons wanted. Well, after the game, Gareth Rhys-Owen spoke to head coach Di Flanagan.
We lacked a little bit of energy, which is disappointing. So once we brought energy in the second half, we looked a much different team, and that's what I talk about, finding what we're really good at. And, you know, all credit to Benetton. They've got a style of play, they wear teams down, and I think we can learn a lot of lessons off the way they played today. They capitalised on our mistakes first half, and out of nowhere was 17-0 down.
How do you work on those problems?
It's day by day, you know. I think the energy and the effort the boys are bringing through the week has been really good. We found it at home the last 2 weeks. There's big lessons in us on how we travel, how we work together, how we produce better performances all round.
9 defeats in a row away from home, is that good enough?
No, it's clearly not good enough, but you know, we're working as hard as we can to change that. We're a new group, like I said previously, but it's week by week, and we've got to get better now going into the derbies.
Yeah, 2 big derbies coming up for the Dragons next. That will be a tough test, but they will be disappointed. They couldn't back it up, could they? Defeat, but the performance was better last week. Is that the Dragons of old we're seeing again?
Yeah, sadly, they haven't really been able to back up that energy, that intensity they brought against Munster, and they've kind of just slipped away each time. But equally, got to give some credit to Benetton. They did some really good things. But for me, with the Dragons, it was their handling errors. So they got themselves into the 22. They actually got themselves in there the same amount of times as Benetton did in the first half, but they came away with nothing. Reason being, it was just moments like this. They were careless with the ball, coughing up possession really easily when they weren't actually under that much defensive pressure from Benetton. Again, they tried to recycle the ball. They were trying to break things down, but slipping off the passes. So they came away with nothing with all the time they spent in the 22, where Benetton, they were far more clinical and they really built a scoreboard. And they punished Dragons for their inaccuracy. Now, here we see Dragons defensively, they were a bit soft. They were trying to come up, but look, they're not coming up with any urgency. They're planting their feet, letting the play happen in front of them. That needs to be a man and ball tackle there. It's not. Plays away, and then the defensive line is not coming up. They're sliding across, leaving gaps back on the inside, which, again, like, credit to Benetton. They saw it, they exposed it, they flooded through, followed through, they got the supportive play involved, and they came away with the tries from it. Now, second half, bench made a massive impact, and they really tried to up the tempo, things like that, throwing the ball in the line out. But still, Benetton was savvy to it. They managed to slow things up. They held strong in their defensive line, putting some really good dominant collisions in. So just slowing down any kind of flow and phase that Dragons would be able to make into it. Now, this was a genuine opportunity here. If the ball goes away, you just see he gets a bit of white line fever. There's player on the side. That ball needs to go. That could have been a turning point for them. That was the first time they really created some momentum and a genuine attacking opportunity for themselves. But as you saw, ball was turned over. So really frustrating stuff.
Yeah, had they scored there, possibly it would have been a different story. We had 4 internationals starting for the Dragons, 6 on the bench. Is that showing us the depth that they have as a squad? Or should those internationals be starting? Is it once again the wrong team?
Yeah, again, I don't know if I'm missing something, but yeah, there's a couple of recipes to get points away from home. One, you go the zebra way, you play, try and get 4 tries, get a point, you know, or you make it really difficult for the opposition to win at home. The pressure's on the home team to go out and perform and win. And our Welsh teams at the moment are conceding so many points away from home. They're not making it difficult, whether it's selection or the way that they're playing. At home, a little bit better. So it's a tough one. Benetton are playing really well at the moment, you know, but you've got to take a leaf out of the Lions or Benetton themselves. When they go away from home, they fight tooth and nail. They have good tactics, good kicking game, good solid defence and set piece, win penalties, stay in the game and snatch a point or a win at the end. At the moment, our sides aren't doing that for whatever reason. But one thing about the Dragons, particularly second half, and I'm seeing the last couple of weeks a culture change. There's definitely more enthusiasm, a spring in their step, you know, some great attacking play in the second half, and I think they're on an upward curve. So let's see the next couple of weeks.
And down to Di Flanagan, that?
Down to maybe Dean Ryan being removed from the environment and Di Flanagan coming in. There's a freshness there, and sometimes that can breathe a bit of fresh air, Kat.
No update from the Dragons regarding the Dean Ryan situation. Right then, 5 more games to bring you from the